Greetings comrades, Soviet Gaming here. Today we'll be talking about EVE Online and I'll be making the beginner's guide for the new players. We had the tips already, they are very basic, this will be more in-depth, so if you haven't seen those tips, you gotta go watch them. Pause the video, click over there or over there, I don't know where the hint will be, watch the video and come back after that because I won't cover the bare basics like how to control, what to do. We will talk about the character development, skill development, ships, all that stuff, the strategy thingies. So right, you finished your tutorial and now you're wondering what to do. You already know that you have to focus on those advanced quests because those are helping you a lot with the better setup. You already know that you don't want to buy the ships. You don't want to buy the tier 3 destroyer because you'll get the tier 4 one for free for advanced tutorial after 24 hours in the game. Just a quick recap for you guys. Pick the one that you like the most, pick the guns that you like the most. I went for the Corax Trainer because it have the torpedoes and stuff, but I think the better option for me would be Talvar Trainer because it's torpedo as well, but this one is faster. We'll be talking about the builds a bit later, I'll cover them a little bit in this video for the beginners, but we'll have to talk about each different build separately because otherwise this video will take hours. Nobody want to watch hour-long video, right? So first things first, what you want to do after you finish your main tutorial, you start doing those encounters. Encounters is the best and basically the only good way to start earning money as a new player. What I advise you to do is to select this filter and turn off transport, investigation, money and focus on combat missions. After that, pick the missions that are like up to 5 jumps away from you and focus on the ones that's giving you the most money. Rewards aren't that important to be honest, because if you're doing the mission for 7,000 ISK, I think you will get about 10 to 20k in bounties. Honestly, I think this is not that profitable at the very early stages, but when you'll be able to get the harder missions, do have those available right now. Missions like this one that require you to have T3 or T4 ship, those will pay you more. So the thing is, when you get to one of those encounters, when you will kill an enemy ship, you will get 3,000, 2,000 and some sort of bounty. And since you face about 7 to 10 ships per encounter, that equals to 30k, around 30k ISK in bounties. Moreover, you will get the loot sometimes. At start, you want to pick up everything because it will help you to fit your ship. When you already got a lot of basic stuff already, you don't want to pick up stuff from the frigate wrecks from tier 2 enemies. You can see the tier of the enemy when you see that small number next to the enemy name. That means the tier of the enemy, so the higher the tier, the more powerful the enemies are. Don't worry if you don't get your bounty straight away in your wallet, it will come there after some time. I think it's about 5 minutes, so it's being transferred to you every specific periods of time. Don't worry about that, it will come. So yeah, you can do it as many times as you want. What I advise is going to the news every time, getting some good missions next to you. When you don't have the missions next to you anymore, you press refresh and then you'll have the new set of missions, so you can pick out of those as well. So for example, this 9,000 ISK mission is pretty good because it pays well, so we'll go and do it, why the hell not. After you refresh your missions, you will have the duration before the next refresh, so it can be refreshed every 30 minutes. So you're doing those missions for a while just for the sake of getting money. This is just like grinding, I think it's called rating in the EVE universe, so basically you're doing that kind of stuff, basic grinding of ESK. As soon as you'll get some money, you want to start using the market. What exactly do you want to focus on? Well, it depends if you're a free-to-play or pay-to-win player. I'm a free-to-play player and I need to get Omega. In order to get Omega, I need to buy the pilot service PLEXs. Those cost, well, the cost will be different for everyone. Right now it's 9,000, when I started it was 5,000. The prices will differ during the day as well, so buy the ones that you need at the price that you feel comfortable for. You can also click here and click Initiate Acquisition. That way you will be able to make the buy order. You select the price that you want to buy it for, like for 7,000 for example, and put 20, and then you will get that buy order listed, and people who want to get the money right away will be able to sell it to you directly over here. But it might not work, so it's up to you to decide if you want to go for it or not. A mega license is really important. It allows you to do several things. First of all, you have several Omega licenses, basic and standard one. You can buy both of those. Basic one costs 170 PLEX, standard 430. Quite expensive, but you can save that up as well. I think if you're dedicated enough. I decided not to go for it right now. Omega clone will give you 25 additional points per day, and all of those things will be unlocked for you. For the basic clone, you will get 5 additional skill points per minute. Not per day, per minute, my bad. And you will unlock the same stuff. So the only difference between those is the amount of points you get per minute. That will help a lot, but that's not that necessary, guys. Specifically if you can narrow down your build to specific things that you want. I strongly advise getting it as soon as possible because it will allow you to get more skill points per minute. In order to buy it, you go to the store over here and go for the pilot license over here. You can buy it for real money over here, or you activate it from your character menu, just like I showed you over here for PLEX, if you decided to go free-to-play route like I did. Another good benefit of Omega Clone is that you get an additional login reward. So for the normal alpha players, you get the top rewards, but for Omega players, you are getting the bottom ones. And here you can get something cool. So we are getting some skill points for the normal players, for the alphas, and for Omegas we are getting industrial skill save that have pretty cool loot over there. And at day 6, for example, we will get free carrier, a tier 5 ship. So it's really worth to get it while you can. It will help you to progress faster after that, so it's worth it. As you can see, the rewards are pretty vast. At the end of the month, though, at day 30, you will get Battle Cruiser, guys. That is pretty cool. So yeah, it's worth it. Rewards are pretty crazy and it will pay for itself over time. You'll get a lot of insurance vouchers. Those are pretty cool. They will save your trainer ships and your low tier ships from dying. So if you die, you will get the ship back for free. But you won't get defeating. So if you have some really expensive stuff equipped, it will be lost. Be careful about that. It can't be insured. At this stage of the game at least. Meanwhile, work on your skills because your advanced quests require you to level up and this will take time. You can't make it faster than that. Honestly, you can only buy Omegas and chips to speed it up. I got some already, so I have 40 instead of 30. You can get it as well in a few days because it's not that expensive right now. Maybe it will be more expensive later. But it is possible to do it in a week for any player, I think, for free if you will be dedicated enough, let's put it like that. That will speed up your progress quite a lot, and that will increase the rate at which you will get XP. For the skills, I recommend going one of the ways for you, so you have to decide early on. You want to have some basic military training for sure. That's necessary. You gotta do the military training and pick the ships that you like and pick the weapons that you like and stick with them. So don't go for lasers, railgun, missiles and something like that. I picked missiles. I'll explain why. I picked missiles because they have the longest range. So my tactics is have to have the fast ship, keep the enemy at bay at the range where they can't really hit me, use the afterburner, use my missiles, and destroy them from range. That will kinda save me from fighting them in the melee when I'll be taking a lot of damage. I think this is the easiest stat, but it have its flaws, of course. Some experienced players will tell about those in the comments, I hope, and we will all know about that. But so far it works well for me, so I advise going for something like this. So when you're picking your main weapon, pick the one that have the good range. Actually, all of those have quite a good, kinda the same range, about 10k kilometers, and the railguns, the only issues are the railguns that are small. Those things, sub-nosed railguns, they have the range of 1 or 2 kilometers, and you gotta be really fast to use them properly, otherwise you'll be kited around and destroyed. Don't recommend those for the beginners, but those rifled railguns are good enough, so go with anything you want. Then you definitely want to work on some planetology skills. You will get tier 3 planetology from the chip, so it's kinda being awarded you automatically from the advanced quests. Yes, at advanced tutorial 3 you will get planetology chip level 3, but don't worry about that. If your planetology is already leveled up a little bit, by using this chip you will just get that free SP that you can use to expedite your skills, and you can use it later, so you can use it at any time, no worries. Level up what you want. So why planetology though? Why do you want this? Because that will allow you to have the more mining arrays and more planets to mine on. Why? I'll explain you right now while we're fighting those guys. I love multitasking, guys, you know that. That's why I love this game. Because you gotta do planetary production. What you want to do, you want to find some planets. You can click along the planets that you're flying next to over here that have rich or even better resources, like perfect resources are the best, and pick the ones that are costing good at the market. So you go to the market and you're like, okay, this thing costs 220 each right now. This is pretty good. So I'll even add it as favorite, and this is a good place to place a development array over here. I already have those in different systems, and they're mining some materials for me, and you can pick them up from time to time, daily or 2 times a week or something like that. So this is your passive income, guys. So I'm mining something that worth about the same amount of money, so I don't really care. Have several of those close to your main base, preferably, if you are not going to maximize your profit, so it'll be easier to pick up for you. And just go in this planetary production and on your mining areas, press plus from time to time to refresh the queue, so it will mine all the time and it won't idle. After that, when you're ready to pick those up, like, okay, I'm ready to pick those up now, what I gotta do? You set a destination, fly over there, and when you're there, press launch. Don't worry about that. In the high sec sectors, we'll talk about high sec, low sec systems a bit later. No one can pick up your loot from the planets, your launched materials. You won't be able to do that. So your stuff is safe. Don't worry about that. You can sell it later at the market to get additional money to buy your Omega license faster. So yes, for the beginner players, the fastest way to get ISK and the easiest one is doing encounters. Then you can do trading. I'll make a separate guide on market trading a bit later when the market will be more stable, because right now it's changing so fast. So you can really make a good deal right now and tomorrow it won't work anymore. The important thing though, that if you want to trade as an alpha clone, you have to go to nearby trading center. So this is the whole list of those trading centers, and you can go to any of those. Jita 4 though is the most popular one, so it's always full. If you like to have a lot of people around you, go there. If you don't like to be in the queue for a while, don't go there, but it's up to you. You can pick any of those, and well, the chances of selling something close to Jita are higher because a lot of people are there, so this is the main hub of trading activity. So basically that's what you want to do at the very start. You want to do encounters, you want to plan your skills, and you want to wait before you will be able to finish that mission that will allow you to get tier 4 ship, which is Advanced Tutorial 4. That will allow you to get one of those destroyers, and those ships already allow you to pack quite a punch and will allow you to go to the harder missions. Like the encounter we're flying to right now that requires T3 destroyer or frigate. There are also tier 4 ones as well here. Be careful about those because enemies there can be quite tough. You can distinguish them by the higher amount of rewards basically. Important thing about tasks and encounters and everything, take a look over here. Some encounters have those emblems of different factions next to them, and you can have the check mark next to them. That means that those missions, those encounters belong to the storyline. When there's a check mark, you already done that. When you click on one of those, you can see which quest it belongs to and how many of those parts of the quest are done. Don't worry about that. I think before tier 5 or higher you won't be able to finish all of those, because you will still have some of those nodes over here that you haven't done, and those require you to do the higher tier quest. So we have 4 different quests for each nation, and all of those, they kinda reward you with some cool stuff. So when you will do all those required quests, you will get this thing. This is a supply chest that have some pretty cool stuff in it, and it's really, really worth a lot. So it's therefore worth going for those. So if you have some free time, don't forget to do some of the delivery missions and stuff like that. But don't focus on those too much, because you won't be able to finish those until later on. So yeah, those guys are more powerful. There is also tier 4 missions available. They kind of reward, I think, about 70k ISK. And if you won't be careful there, even your tier 4 ship can be destroyed, so you gotta be careful when you are on those higher level missions, and you can try not to die there, because enemies can be quite tough here. Because as you can see right now, they are actually doing quite a lot of damage to me. I already took like 60% of the shield damage. The interesting thing though, that you can set up the orbit that you want. By default, it's being set to your optimal range of the weapon, but for missiles, since those have the maximum range of 23 kilometers right now, you can set this orbit by clicking orbit and holding and increasing it to like, did I say 23? Let's go for 20 kilometers. That will allow us to actually stay away from the enemy range, and they can't really shoot you. As you can see, they miss all the time, because most weapons at this level have range of like 10k. So you can safely destroy enemies using these tactics. So there we go, we have 5 enemies already, and if we'll get close, they can do quite a lot of damage, so we'll have to use the shield boosters, shield hardeners, shield extenders, that kind of stuff. Or we can just use the fast ship with an afterburner and keep them at bay. Unluckily, the AI thinks that the best range is like 15 kilometers, so they are getting really close, like 60 kilometers, 17. So they're not staying at 20 kilometers range, but it's still quite good and still far enough so the enemies can't do that much damage to you, as you can see. So right, yes, that's what you'll be doing for the first few days. You'll be doing the grinding of the encounters. What else you can do other than doing encounters at tier 4 and higher? First of all, you have your industry ship available already because you got it from the quest. Venture Trainer. There we go. Let's equip it and let's try to do some mining. But wait, our mining ship goes without the mining lasers because, well, in order to get them, you gotta buy them. So let's go into the market, high slots, harvest equipment, and there we go. Our MK3 miner, it costs 47k each, so it's 100 per 2. And honestly, right now, mining isn't the best option because it doesn't give that much income. But for the sake of this tutorial, we'll do it. So let's buy 2 of those. Let's get the drone because, well, we have to defend ourselves. And what else do we need? Well, we have the rest of the systems available already. So there we go. We got the basic equipment and it costs us 100k already. So let's see what kind of stuff we can mine. First of all, we can do the mining missions. Some of those require coordinates, some of those require Pyroxerox. Pyroxerox has been located in 0.4 security systems and lower, which are pretty far away, so if you want to get those quests, if you want to do it for serious, like mining, you gotta go there, get a lot of that, get into your storage and then deliver it to different quests. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm too lazy, we will go over and get, for example, some score data, and let's see how long it will take us to get 100 units of those. And the interesting thing about the mining missions is that you can just buy Pyroxerox of the vendors, of the other miners, and get a lot of profit from that. But let's do mining ourselves for these tutorials, for this case. So we gotta, first of all, we gotta find Pyroxerox. So here is a score diet asteroid, and let's mine it with both of our lasers. What's the optimal range? Optimal range is 17 kilometers, so we want to be at that range from the ore, and there we go. It's happening, guys. We are mining and it's looking pretty cool. I'll admit that. I'll admit that it looks pretty cool, but it takes forever. And based on the experience from the normal EVE, from the EVE Online, the rewards from the basic mining when you just start out will be really, really bad. So you won't be able to get as much money as by doing the runs for the enemies, just killing them over around rating. It will be way faster doing that. But if you want to, you can do this. Okay, the good thing though, that getting 100 of those isn't that hard, it doesn't take that long. The main issue though, that estimated price that shows over here is like, whoa, you got 20k straight away, it's so easy, you'll be rich. No. The score at the basic price ore is 2, so it's kinda free, you don't even want to mine that. If you wanna do mining for real, you gotta go to the sectors when you can get the proper ore. Let's take a look what ore do we have and how much does it cost, mine it there and bring it back. So yeah guys, based on the price of all that, Pyroxerox worth mining, because 500, well, it's not 500, it's 80 right now, so it's not that much as well. Yeah, it's all doesn't really worth it at all. It's like free, so you won't get that much for mining that. Jaspit is the ore that's kinda worth it right now, because as you can see the price is kinda okay. But as you can see here, it's available in 0 to -1 security status solar systems. So that means if you'll go there on your beginner ship and some pirate will find you, you will be dead most likely. Because you don't know how to play the game yet, right? You're a beginner. So it doesn't worth it. It doesn't worth the risk of losing your ship and just wasting your time. So you can always go to the market, check the ores, click on the name, and you will see over here where it's available. So yeah, most expensive ores aren't available at the, surface area where you play your game normally. And the ore hold is being full pretty fast, so it will take like 10 minutes of you mining in order to fill it completely, and it doesn't worth to do it overnight as well, because most likely, well, you won't get hit in the high sec systems, but you won't get that much anyway. So yeah, I don't really recommend mining for the beginner players, because you will either be destroyed in the Null Sec, in the 0 security sectors, or you won't get that much. Since we're talking about the sectors, let me explain you how it works. So there are 3 levels of security systems. First one is high sec, it ranges from 1 to I think 0.5. In those areas, if someone will attack you, they will be killed by the Concord, which is a space police, which will just chase the attacker and kill him. But you still can get killed, so be careful, but you can play somewhat AFK here and don't really worry that much. Then there is a low security systems which range from 0.4 to 0, I think. In those, there is no security, so if you will be attacked and someone will kill you, he will get crime points. Those will stay on you for a while and they will deteriorate over time. When they are at 0, you are free to go and do whatever you want. But if you go into the high security system with the crime points on, you will get attacked by the Concord, by the space police. Then there is a Null Sec. All those red areas are Null Sec, and in those systems there is no penalty for killing, so this is a free player kill area, free PK area. Be careful when you're there, be aware of your surroundings. There is a high chance that you won't meet that many people around there because it's dangerous, but if someone would like to kill you, they won't get any consequences for that. You can do that as well, but the further you are in the lower security system you are, the higher will be the reward. So you will actually have to balance out the risk-reward system a bit later in the game. But since this is a beginner's guide, I recommend staying in the green high-sec systems unless you understand what are you doing and where are you going. And let's get a small coverage of ships and the setups that you want to use as a beginner. Well, basically this is way easier because, as I already mentioned, you can go with wherever you want. So for example, you will start with your frigate, which is pretty good as well. Then you'll get the free tier 4 destroyer, which is good as well. And you can pick the destroyer that you want. So you can actually check the stats of the ship. If you click at the ship over here and scroll down, you will see the overall defense, velocity, which is speed, warp speed, which is how fast you warp, power grid output of the capacitors power for your subsystems, and cargo hold capacity and resistances and everything. So you can actually pick the one that you want. And since the main difference will be the stats of the ship and its weapon systems, you have to decide on the ship that you want to use based on the weapon systems that you trained already or which you want to focus on. Although when you switch in your ship type from destroyer to cruiser, you can switch to different weapon type because unlike in EVE Online, the medium weapon types don't require the lower tier. So for example, if we have the missiles, the small missiles, going for the medium missiles doesn't require anything of that, so it just requires your tech level. So if you don't like the type of weapon that you have right now, which you started with, for the cruisers you can go for like, screw that, I'm going with the cannons, and then you can just get the medium cannon operation skill and level those, because those are pretty separate. Same goes for the large ones, so they don't require the medium or the small one. So when you start, pick the type of weapon that you like the most, because you can change it later. When you'll play the game a little bit, you will analyze different types of weapons, you will see how they are different, and you will understand what you need more, because you can always check what you have available here on the market and in the research list and in the production list. So it's up to you what to go for. It doesn't really matter that much, just go with the weapon which have the good range, because I'm not really sure that the short range weapons are really good for beginner players. Let's mention industry a little bit. In my opinion, this is not beginner friendly because it requires you to have a lot of resources and skills involved in manufacturing in order to do it properly. But in order to do something, you will need, for example, I want to build this ship. I will need the blueprint, I will need the required tech level, which I already have, and I will need some materials that you can see over here on the right. The list is pretty huge. You can just buy them or mine them yourself or ask your corporation teammates to get them, to sell them for you or mine them. There are different ways how you can do that. But the thing is, for the beginner player, it will be quite overwhelming and it can be quite a good way to get money, but it requires a lot of investment of skill points as well in order to make it efficient. You can see the production time over here and the cost of production here as well. So if you want to go for it, but it costs a lot and it's pretty sophisticated, so it's up to you if you want to go for it. You can also do reverse engineering jobs that will give you the chance to get the blueprint out of the destroyed ship debris that you will get after some fights in the debris, and it requires some research as well to make it efficient, because otherwise the success rate can be quite low. But this is one of the good ways to get the blueprints. But I don't want to go too deep into the production right now, because this is not for the beginners. Honestly, it's a little bit way too complicated. And yeah, guys, let me know in the comments if you have additional tips for the beginners and if I missed something, because this game is vast and huge and it's so easy to miss something important when you compiling the beginner's guide that have to cover everything. While you go into the comments, don't forget to leave a like, share this video with your friends and teammates, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And most importantly, don't forget to hit the bell button after that so you won't miss any new videos. Also, you might want to check the links in the pinned comment and in the video description for additional playlists, for additional guides for Eve Echoes, for my Twitch and my Discord where you guys want to be, so it's a good place to be. Follow me there if you can. You won't regret it, I promise. You can regret following me on the social media though, because they can be quite empty sometimes. But if you want to follow me there, I'll be really grateful. That's about it for now. Thank you for watching, guys. Soviet out. Fly safe. До свидания.